Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yang berhormat Pihindudana Khatib Datuk Perka Seri Setia Ustaz Haji Awang Badarudin bin Pengarah Datuk Perka Haji Awang Othman, Minister of Religious Affairs. Yang berhormat Datuk Seri Setia Dr. Awang Haji Muhammad Amin Liu bin Abdullah, Minister of the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister of Finance and Economy. Yang Mulia Dato' Amir Bukovic, Director and Resident Representative of the Regional Hub of Indonesia and ISDB Group Head of Delegation. Yang Mulia Tuan Junaidi bin Haji Masri, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, BIBD and its group of companies. Senior government officials, senior officials from ISDB, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Islamic Development Bank Group ISDB Group Day in Brunei, where we gather to witness the official launching of the ISDB Group Day in Brunei, and as the Islamic Development Bank Group is making a working visit to Brunei and expressing their interest and commitment to support Brunei as one of its member countries by identifying and establishing cooperation initiatives that align with the Brunei Vision 2035, the Group Day aims to strengthen ties between both organizations. My name is Hadi Sudirman and I will be your MC for this auspicious event. Ladies and gentlemen, the event provides a forum for both institutions, allowing for interaction and engagement across relevant stakeholders and investors invited to the event to share their services and offerings and to discuss potential collaboration for upcoming plans and projects. The objectives of the Islamic Development Bank Group ISDB Group Day in Brunei is to further expand and strengthen Islamic finance in Brunei, support the private sector and growth of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, develop and strengthen capabilities of local youths, and increase their marketability. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to invite Yang Mulia, Shazwan bin Siddiq, to read the holy verses of the Al-Quran, Surah Ar-Rahman, verses 1 to 16, and the interpreter, Yang Mulia Abdul Hadi Muayyad bin Azrul, both from the Institute Tahfiz Al-Quran Sultan Haji Hassan Bolkiah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Allah, the most gracious, it is He who has taught the Quran, and the one who created man. He has taught him speech and intelligence. The sun and the moon run their courses according to an ordained calculation. The stars, herbs, and the trees prostrate in adoration before their Creator. Allah raised the sky above the earth and set up the criterion and balance of justice, in order that you, man, may not transgress the right of the others. So scale weight with the justice, and do not reduce the due balance of people's things. It is He who has spread out the earth for His creatures. Therein grow fruits and palm trees, having sheathed dates, and also corn with leaves and stalks for fodder, and sweet-smelling plants. Then, which of the bounties of your Lord do you deny? Allah created Adam alayhi salam, father of man, from dry clay, and He created jinns from a smoke-free flame of fire. Then, which of the bounties of your Lord do you deny? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has spoken the truth. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك اللهم ونتوب إليك وبالله التوفيق والهداية والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Sadaqallahul Azim, Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Yang Mulia Abdul Hadi and Yang Mulia Shazwan. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I would like to cordially invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Setia Dr. Awang Haji Muhammad Amin Liu bin Abdullah, Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister of Finance and Economy, to give out his welcoming address for the Islamic Development Bank Group Day in Brunei.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang Berhormat Pehin Udana Khatib Datu Paduka Seri Setia Ustaz Haji Awang Badaruddin bin Pengarah Datu Paduka Haji Awang Osman, Minister of Religious Affairs. Yang Mulia Dato' Amir Bukovic, Director and Resident Representative, Regional Hub Indonesia, Head of IsDB Delegation. Yang Mulia Awang Junaidi bin Haji Masri, Managing Director and CEO, Bank Islam Brunei Darussalam. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to join you all today at the Balai Khazanah Islam Sultan Haji Hassanah Bolkiah, a fitting backdrop for us to commemorate the Islamic Development Bank Group Day. A cornerstone of Islamic cooperation, the ISDB has played a pivotal role in promoting economic development and social progress among its member countries. In today's complex geopolitical and geo-economic landscape, Islamic cooperation is more important than ever. The ISDB, as a fundamental platform for Islamic cooperation, continues to play a crucial role in fostering unity, solidarity, and economic development among its member countries. Last month, we were honored to have hosted His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Al-Jasir, the President of ISDB in Brunei, during which we had the opportunity to discuss and explore strategic cooperation and partnership. I'm therefore pleased to be able to commemorate our shared vision here in today's event, which is to bolster our strategic partnership and explore new horizons of cooperation, particularly through investment and development opportunities. In recent years, Brunei has made significant strides in diversifying its economy beyond its traditional reliance on oil and gas. Through strategic partnerships with foreign investors and the active support of local financial institutions, we have successfully cultivated new sectors such as petrochemicals, fertilizer, tourism, ICT, and halal food. These initiatives not only contributed to economic growth of the country, but also created a more diversified economy. In addition to economic diversification, sustainability is also a key priority to us. We have set ambitious goals to achieve net zero emission and increase renewable energy usage, demonstrating our commitment to a greener future. By investing in sustainable practices and exploring innovative financing mechanisms, Brunei is paving the way for a more resilient and environmentally friendly economy. Building on this momentum, Brunei's Islamic finance sector has experienced substantial growth, mirroring global trends. Despite global challenges, Islamic finance has shown remarkable resilience, where Islamic financial assets worldwide have surged by 69% in the last 5 years, with the global industry projecting to reach $5.9 trillion by 2026. Reflecting this global growth, over half of Brunei's total financial sector assets were held by Islamic financial institutions, reaching 13.3 billion Brunei dollars in 2023, predominantly driven by banks and financial institutions, which account for more than 95% of Islamic financial assets, while Takaful entities represent just under 5%. Islamic finance has therefore become a crucial driver of economic progress in Brunei, significantly shaping the country's financial sector and supporting its broader development goals. The strategic focus provided by the Brunei Darussalam Central Bank's financial sector blueprint aims to foster a dynamic and resilient financial ecosystem, aligning seamlessly with Brunei Vision 2035. With a growing asset base and active participation from institutions like BIBD, Brunei is well positioned to capitalize on the global growth of Islamic finance and realize its economic aspirations. Against this backdrop, I'm pleased to note that BIBD and ISDB will formalize their collaboration today with the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding, which covers key areas such as joint financing and syndication, treasury activities, trade finance, and the co-management of investment assets. Beyond this, the MOU also emphasizes human capacity development through training programs, knowledge sharing sessions, and internships. This partnership will enhance BIBD's support for Brunei's national economic objectives and advance ISDB's mission of promoting sustainable development across its member countries. This collaboration will also open up new opportunities for joint ventures in investment, knowledge sharing, and technology transfer, leveraging ISDB's expertise in Islamic finance, investment, and Islamic financial products. Local Islamic banks in Brunei will gain valuable insights and experience. This partnership will also facilitate the adoption of best practices in structuring Sharia compliance products, managing Islamic financial assets, and driving innovation within the sector, ultimately contributing to the growth of Brunei's financial landscape. Today's MOU between BIBD and ISDB builds on the recent MOU signed between ISDB and the government of Brunei Darussalam during the recent visit of His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Al Jassir, the President of ISDB, to Brunei, which established a comprehensive framework to enhance collaboration across key areas, including Islamic finance, support for small and medium-sized enterprises, promotion of regional economic cooperation, climate change mitigation, and human capacity development. This partnership holds significant value for Brunei and reflects Brunei's ambition to strengthen its role in the global Islamic economy and contribute to the economic development of the Islamic Ummah. Moving forward, there are several key areas where Brunei and Islamic Development Bank can deepen mutually for mutually beneficial cooperation. First, on infrastructure development, the ISDB offers opportunities for financing and technical expertise for large-scale infrastructure projects, which are crucial for Brunei's long-term growth. By partnering in these projects, we can make substantial progress in advancing Brunei's development while also supporting ISDB's mission to promote sustainable economic growth across its member countries. Second, on agriculture and food security, addressing global challenges related to food security and sustainable agriculture requires innovation and joint efforts. By pooling resources, expertise, and best practices, Brunei and ISDB can enhance agricultural productivity and resilience, implementing cutting-edge technologies that ensures long-term sustainability in this vital sector. Next, on technology and innovation, the digital age presents us with countless possibilities for growth. Through ISDB, we can explore joint ventures in tech startups, digital infrastructure, and research and development. Innovation will be key to fostering long-term competitiveness and ensuring that we will continue to thrive in an increasing interconnected world. This brings me to the next point on small, medium-sized enterprises. By working closely with ISDB, Brunei can collaborate on programs that stimulate SME development, entrepreneurship, and employment generation. These initiatives will not only strengthen our economy, but also provide a platform for new job creation and for our MSMEs to thrive in the global markets. Last but not least, sustainability must remain a core focus of our collaboration. Green projects such as renewable energy, waste management, and conservation are crucial for both environmental sustainability and economic growth. By prioritizing these areas, we can together contribute to global environmental goals while fostering a green economy that benefits future generations. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, by harnessing our unique strengths and partnering with ISDB, we can unlock unprecedented opportunities for growth and development. Let's embrace these opportunities with enthusiasm and collaborate on our shared vision to build a better future. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Yang Berhormat Dato, for the warm welcoming address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to invite Yang Mulia Datuk Amir Bukovic, Director and Resident Representative of the Regional Hub of Indonesia, and as ISDB Group Head of Delegation, up to the stage to deliver his keynote speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Pahinwudana Khatib Dato Paduka Seri Setia Ustaz Haji Badaruddin bin Pengaran Dato Paduka Haji Othman, Minister of Religious Affairs of Brunei, Honorable Dato Seri Setia Dr. Haji Muhammad Amin Lieu bin Abdullah, Minister at Prime Minister's Office and Minister of Finance and Economy too, and ISDB Alternate Governor, His Excellency Mr. Junaidi Masri, Managing Director of BIBD, Governor of Central Bank of Brunei, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, esteemed partners, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you today in Brunei Darussalam, a nation with which Islamic Development Bank shares a profound and enduring relationship. Today, we mark a significant milestone in our partnership as we gather to celebrate ISDB Group Day, a day that symbolizes the strength of our shared commitment to fostering sustainable development and inclusive growth. This momentous occasion is made even more special following the recent signing of Memorandum of Understanding for Development of the Country Engagement Framework between His Excellency the President of ISDB Group, Dr. Mohammed Al-Jasser, and His Excellency the Minister of Finance and Economy too, Dato Seri Setia Dr. Mohammed Amin Liu bin Abdullah, also our alternate governor for Brunei. This partnership signals a new chapter in our cooperation, setting the stage for deeper engagement in areas that align with Brunei's strategic vision. It's significant to note that this ISDB Group Day comes nearly a decade after Brunei hosted the first President of Islamic Development Bank Group in 2014. That event laid the foundation for the growing relationship we enjoy today. Our presence here today, alongside key stakeholders from Brunei's public and private sectors, is a testament to our mutual commitment to elevating this partnership to even greater heights. This event marks a significant milestone in fostering economic collaboration and unlocking new investment and trade and business opportunity between Brunei Darussalam and 57 member countries of ISDB Group. ISDB is the institution of the Ummah that financed more than $180 billion worldwide in Muslim communities and our member countries. Over 12,000 projects in 57 countries, of which 31 are fragile and 29 are least developed countries. This is the Ummatic organization that still maintains a AAA Standard & Poor rating. This is an institution that is owned by all of us. This is an institution that is owned by Brunei. And this is an institution that we should all be proud of. This is your institution. And we, our employees here, are servants of your institution. And we came here today to explore possibilities, what we can do together. What Brunei can do for Ummah, what Ummah can do for Brunei. And as we commemorate this event, we also begin the important task of developing a country engagement framework, CEF, for Brunei Darussalam. This is not just a document, it's a strategic roadmap that will guide our collaboration and contribution to implementation of ISDB Group new strategy 23-25, which focuses on fostering green, resilient, and sustainable infrastructure as well as inclusive human capital development. As mentioned by His Excellency the Minister, We will be also signing a memorandum of understanding between ISDB and Bank Islam Brunei Darussalam Berhad, BIBD. The objective is to provide a general framework for facilitating collaboration and the commitment and cooperation between BIBD Group and the ISDB in promoting and undertaking their mutual interest as a result of this. I would like to use this opportunity to express my gratitude to the generous hospitality and co-hosting of BIBD of this event of ISDB Group Day. So BIBD is the right platform of connecting the private sector of Brunei and ISDB Group, which again represents 57 member countries and Muslim communities as well. So today we have a chance of building a synergy between BIBD and ISDB Group. And today with us we have representatives of our ISDB Group, which is ITFC, which are represented today with us, ICD, private sector arm, ISEC, our insurance arm, TICA, our networking arm. So all of us to explore the possibility of collaboration. And collaboration is deeply rooted in the shared objectives of promoting economic diversification. A goal is at the heart of Brunei's long-term strategic vision, Vawasan 2035. The CEF we are developing is built upon two key pillars: promoting Islamic finance and strengthening the SME ecosystem, as mentioned by His Excellency the Minister. These pillars reflect our shared priorities and will serve as a foundation for driving sustainable economic growth in Brunei. By promoting Islamic finance, we aim to enhance Brunei's capacity and expertise in this vital sector, ensuring that the country remains at the forefront of global Islamic financial markets. Simultaneously, by supporting the small and medium enterprises, SMEs, we are bolstering the backbone of Brunei's economy, ensuring that its entrepreneurial spirit flourishes and contributes meaningfully to national growth. These businesses are the backbone of innovation and employment, and our joint effort will aim to provide them with the tools and resources needed to thrive in an increasingly competitive global market. Our vision for the country engagement framework goes beyond these two pillars. We are incorporating cross-cutting initiatives that addresses regional cooperation and integration, climate change mitigation and adaptation, ICT and digitalization, and the empowerment of women and youth. These elements are critical in ensuring that our partnership remains not only relevant but transformative, helping Brunei address the challenges of today while preparing for the opportunities of tomorrow, and by focusing on the empowerment of women and youth, we are making a clear statement that inclusive development is essential for long-term prosperity. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are confident that this ISDB Group Day will serve as a powerful catalyst for achieving Brunei's aspiration under Vawasan 2035. It is designed to build our shared vision of prosperous, resilient, and forward-looking nation, one that is well positioned to meet the challenges of the future while contributing to the betterment of the global Ummah. Through our collaboration, we will unlock new opportunities for economic growth, social development, and environmental sustainability, all while ensuring that our efforts contribute to the broader goals of ISDB Group and the global community. In closing, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to His Majesty, the Sultan of Brunei, the government, and the people of Brunei Darussalam for their unwavering support hospitality, and partnership. We would also like to express our gratitude to His Excellency Minister of Home Affairs and the Chairman of BIBD, and again to Mr. Junaidi Masri, the Managing Director of BIBD, for generously co-hosting this major event in Brunei. Together, we achieved already much, and together we will continue to build a prosperous future for Brunei Darussalam and the entire Ummah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Yang Mulia Dato Amer Bukovic. Now, we are pleased to present you with a short video presentation about the ISDB Group. With that, ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment and enjoy the video presentation.
In the constant spinning of the wheel of time, there are moments of grace when we reflect on the past and contemplate the future. Moments that leave indelible marks on the continuum of time and forever change the course of history. A beacon of fervent hope and inspiration, the Islamic Development Bank Group is a dazzling product of one such defining moment, a historic turning point that since 1974 has propelled a tireless quest for a better future for mankind. Headquartered in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that has changed the tides and upheld collective action in the face of insurmountable challenges and inevitable crises, bringing in more than meets the eye to the lives of people in our 57 member countries, in 4 continents and beyond. Our transformative journey towards securing resilience and sustainability has seen many epic firsts. We have set sail from the South, for the South, by the South, injected fresh life into the fabric of global finance by promoting Islamic finance, weathered formidable storms that crunched the global economy, endured multifaceted crises that set back decades of development efforts, and stood with the world to build back better and secure a greener tomorrow. Rated AAA by the world's credit rating agencies, our diligent mission in pursuit of global goals hinges upon the unyielding commitment of our 57 member countries, the unwavering support of our peers and partners, and the ceaseless, productive and innovative work that we deliver round the clock across various development sectors. In the Islamic Development Bank Group, we proudly stand shoulder to shoulder with our member countries as they soar to the heights of success. We have provided more than $182 billion in financing to promote socio-economic development, shared country-specific solutions and best development practices through country engagement frameworks, provided billions of dollars for life-changing projects that mitigate risks, and promoted sustainability in achieving the UN SDGs through boosting recovery in food security and health systems, tackling poverty and building resilience, especially for women and youth, and driving climate action, renewable energies, and green economies. As the world's premier South-South multilateral development bank, we are celebrating 5 decades of unshaken resolve that expands international trade amongst our member countries and beyond, improves digital connectivity, boosts SMEs and private sector development, promotes investment and export credit insurance, and empowers local communities to play a role in economic development. Our endeavors of the past shape the realities of the present and inspire the plans of a planet-friendly future. 50 years on, since that defining moment of grace, in the stream of time, we treasure the many heights we have conquered and venture the many we are yet to climb. 50 years of unity and cooperation, of enduring success and of grandeur and glory, etch the names of our founders in time as we cherish our past and join hands with the world to chart a prosperous, green future for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the highlight of the event, the launching of the Islamic Development Bank Group Day in Brunei by our guest of honors and Datuk Amir Bukovic. With that, it is my pleasure to call upon Yang Mulia, Tuan Junaidi bin Haji Masri to invite Yang Berhormat, Pihirudana Khatib Datuk Perka Seri Setia Ustaz Haji Awang Badarudin bin Pengarah Datuk Perka Haji Awang Othman, Minister of Religious Affairs, alongside Yang Berhormat, Datuk Seri Setia Dr. Awang Haji Muhammad Amin Liu bin Abdullah, Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister of Finance and Economy, together with Yang Mulia, Dato Amir Bukovic, Director and Resident Representative of the Regional Hub of Indonesia, ISDB Group Head of Delegation, to officially launch ISDB Group Day in Brunei. With that, ladies and gentlemen, the ISDB Group Day in Brunei is now officially launched. Thank you very much, distinguished gentlemen. You may now return to your respective seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now proceeding to the signing of Memorandum of Understandings MOUs. Ladies and gentlemen, the witnesses of this Memorandum of Understanding MOU are guests of honors, Yang Berhormat Pihin Udana Khatib Datuk Perka Seri Setia Ustaz Haji Awang Badarudin bin Pengarah Datuk Perka Haji Awang Othman, Minister of Religious Affairs, together with Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Setia Dr. Awang Haji Muhammad Amin Liu bin Abdullah, Minister at the Prime Minister's Office and Second Minister of Finance and Economy. Signing on behalf of Bank Islam Brunei Darussalam BIBD, we would like to call upon Yang Mulia Tuan Junaidi bin Haji Masri, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer BIBD and its group of companies. While signing on behalf of Islamic Development Bank Group ISDB, we would like to call upon Yang Mulia Datuk Amir Bukovic, Director and Resident Representative of the Regional Hub of Indonesia, ISDB Group Head of Delegation. With that, ladies and gentlemen, may we respectfully invite all to the stage and take their respective places. Ladies and gentlemen, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding will now commence. Alhamdulillah, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with BIBD and ISDB has now been completed. Thank you very much to all respective representatives. You may now all return to your seat. With that, we would now like to invite Young Mulia Haji Roslan bin Haji Ali to lead us in the recital of Dua.
استغفر الله العظيم استغفر الله العظيم استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا اله الا الحي القيوم واتوب اليه. الفاتحة إلى حضرة النبي المصطفى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وإلى روح والدينا ووالديكم وإلى المسلمين والمسلمات كافة عامة أجركم اللهم. الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. لا إله إلا الله العظيم الحليم. لا إله إلا الله رب العرش العظيم. لا إله إلا الله رب السماوات والأرض ورب العرش الكريم. اللهم إنا نسألك خير هذا اليوم فتحه ونصره ونوره وبركته وهداه ونعوذ بك من شره وشر ما فيه والشر ما بعده إلى يوم الدين. Allahumma tub bi amdika azamati sultan, kebahduli yang maha mulia paduka Sri Baginda Sultan Haji Senabuki Ma'azzaddin wa Daulah Sultan dan ini Pertuan Negara Brunei Darussalam wa wafiqu li salihi ummati wal bilad wa habibu ila ar-ra'iyah wa habibir ra'iyah ilayhi. Allahumma razuqhu farhatan wa surura fid dunya wal akhirah. Allahumma fadhu fi nafsihi warham walidayhi واحفظ أهله وأولاده وأحفاده وإخوته وقرابته ورعيته والحاضرين والمسلمين أجمعين. اللهم أدمه متمتعا بطول البقاء متوجا بتيجان الصحة والهنا. اللهم اجعل عمره مصلحا للموظفين ورعية والبلاد وبلغ مقاصده لطريق الهدى والرشاد. اللهم اجعل سلطنته نجر بروناي دار السلام معمورة بالتقدم والسلام والعدل والصلاح والبركة بين الأنام والرخاء والأمن والنصر وسائر بلاد الإسلام. اللهم إنا نسألك بأسمائك الحسنى وصفاتك العظمى وكلماتك التامة ورحمتك العامة أن تجعل هذا المجلس ISDB Group Day in Brunei موفقا بالخيرات والبركات مشمولا بالعناية والتوفيق معونا بالسهولة والتيسير منزلا بالنعمة والرحمة معصوما عن الفحشاء والمنكر برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ابسط علينا من بركاتك ورحمتك وفضلك ورزقك واجعلنا من أعظم عبادك نصيبا في كل خير تقسم في هذا اليوم من نور تهدي به ورحمة تنشرها ورزق تبسطه ودر تكشفه وبلاء ترفعه وفتنة تصرفها وسوء تدفعه. اللهم اسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. بفضل سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. تقبل الله منا ومنكم.
Thank you, Young Mulia Haji Roslan. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a quick coffee and tea break until 11 a.m. Kindly help yourselves to the refreshments provided at the lobby area, and we will continue again shortly with the presentations delivered by the ISDB Group. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We will be starting our next program in 2 minutes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you back to the Islamic Development Bank Group ISDB Group Day in Brunei. I hope you've enjoyed your refreshments earlier, as we are now continuing with a very exciting part of the event. We will now be witnessing the presentations delivered by the ISDB Group. I would now like to invite all ISDB Group speakers up to the stage to take their respective places and to prepare to deliver their presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming our first presenter, we would like to invite Young Mulia Ali Falahi to present regarding the Islamic Development Bank ISDB to begin his presentation.
Salam alaikum, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It's my pleasure to meet you all, and I can see there's a big audience and participants, of course, because usually when His Excellencies they come and they leave, so most of the colleagues they accompany them. So it's a great pleasure for us to have you all here. Terima kasih banyak dan selamat siang. Saya pikir sekarang selamat siang. Dan maaf saya jika saya tidak memakai batik. Okay, so let's start with the first presentation. It's about the ISDB in general. So we should give you actually to get familiar with what ISDB is doing, what is the vision and mission, and of course just to give a general picture and overview. And inshallah, my colleagues here, they will go to the details and their own expertise and specific areas. Next slide, please. Next one. Yes. So why ISDB exists? Well, the ISDB just in 1974 established in order for the alleviate the poverty, for the social progress, economic development. So these were the main objective of ISDB that was established at that time. Of course, maybe in 1974 it was not all 57. So gradually they joined ISDB. And ISDB also is not helping the member countries, also helping the communities, Muslim communities in non-member countries. Next slide, please. Yes, we have a vision, mission like any other organizations. So the vision is where we are going. So we want to become a world class. Of course, maybe we didn't put any date for that. But however, it is to be on the safe side, it's better to keep it like that. But we are also inspired by Islamic principles and also to transform the landscape of comprehensive human development in the Muslim world. Mission that how can we attain our objective or achieve our objectives. For example, we have diverse sectors, basic infrastructure, health, agriculture, education, many sectors. It depends on of course, the appetite and the basic needs of the member countries. So it depends on the priority, it depends on the strategy of ISDB and the strategy of the member countries. We can go ahead, we can discuss a close consultation with the government and inshallah for the improving and for the prosperity of the country. For example, like Wawasan 2035 for Brunei, we look at it, what are the objectives and also what are the strategy of ISDB group. Next slide, please. Yeah, so you may be aware that ISDB maintains a AAA credit ratings and it's the highest in the Muslim world and of course one of the leading MDBs that has this AAA and it is rated by the leading credit rating agencies such as Moody's, Fitch and Standard & Poor. And you know that there are some reasons for that. Maybe it's because of the high level shareholder support, because of the strong, solid financial position, and because of the prudent financial policies. So there are many reasons that ISDB could maintain its position as a AAA, and you know that the importance of AAA is because lower cost of borrowing and also access to the global capital markets and many other advantages that can bring to the member countries. Next slide, please. Yes. So what are our values? We believe, everybody has a belief. So ISDB organization is also one of them. We believe to have a dignity and prosperity. I think this is in alignment with Wawasan. I just checked it. And of course, poverty, we don't have poverty in the country, but we have 57 member countries that we need to help them. And we equip this and we drive the economic, social progress. For example, for Brunei is economic diversification, and we know it's very important. So it was advised from His Majesty, we read it, even at the preface of the RKN 11 and Wawasan, we know about that, and hopefully, inshallah, we are going to touch and to go to that way. We build collaborative partnership, we believe in partnership synergy. You know, because of the SDG financing, there is a huge and big funding gap, and any individual country cannot cover this SDG funding gap, so we need the synergy and collaboration, especially with the development partners. And foster this, we should give innovative and creative solutions for the country, so ISDB is a solution-based institution. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the evolution story. So it started in 1975. Of course, sometimes you find in 1974, Minister of Finance, they just gathered, they just showed their intent, but 1975 it was established, so it's a multilateral development bank. And in 1981, ISDBI, Islamic Development Bank Institute, which was former IRTI, if I'm not mistaken. So IRTI before, the previous name of ISDBI was Islamic Research and Training Institute. So after that, but it was before IRTI, and then it changed the name to ISDBI. My colleague is here, he can go to discuss more and about ISDBI. ISEC is an insurance arm of ISDB. Also, my colleagues are here to help you about the ISEC, how can they ensure a guaranteed investment in the member countries. ICD, we also have the pleasure, alhamdulillah, all of them, it rarely happens, that ICD is also here, that it's a private sector arm, and so it just provides a line of finance, equity participation. And ISFD, Islamic Solidarity Fund for Development. Alhamdulillah, we have also pleased to have our colleague here. He also can talk about ISFD and the means and of course the objectives. And ITFC, Islamic Trade Financing Corporation, which is for the working capital and trade financing. Also, we are pleased to have our colleague here to talk about that. Next slide, please. Where we are, yes. So ISDB headquarters, you know, this is located in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, and we have 10 regional hubs. It scatters in 4 continents. For example, we are based in Indonesia, and Dr. Amr, for example, he is a director of regional hub based in Indonesia. We cover 3 member countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. We have a center of excellence in Malaysia, which is mostly used for the Islamic finance and resource mobilization, halal. And we have a regional hub in Bangladesh, covers Bangladesh and Maldives. We have a regional hub in Kazakhstan, and 5 in Africa, Egypt, Senegal, Morocco, Uganda, and I think Nigeria, and 1 in Turkey, of course. Turkey covers many countries, and Suriname. So we have, and we have also a field representative in some member countries that we have a good portfolio, high portfolio, but we don't have regional hub. Next slide, please. Yeah, the total approval so far, as you can see, we wanted to be meticulous, 30th June of quarter 2. Of course, now we just about July, August, 2 months more. So the total approval is about $189 billion. I think that Dr. Amr talked about this when he was delivering his speech. And the lion's share of these total approvals go to ISDB. It's about 70, nearly, billion dollars. Sorry, ITFC $79 billion, followed by ISDB. So you can see the importance of ITFC. Next slide. Of course, it doesn't mean that other colleagues, I mean, they also have represent many importance. So distribution of projects. The lion's share also goes to energy. It depends on the appetite and the needs of the country, the requests of the countries. We cannot impose our, let's say, sector to any countries. For example, we came to Brunei, we had a close consultation, and inshallah we are going to continue. This week we are bringing a big delegation here, so we need to listen to the government that, for example, what sectors do you need? However, so far in the MOU we identified 2 pillars that you have heard about that frequently. So energy is 40%, and then followed by, yes, I think that agriculture 13.5%, it's very close to industry, and mining 13.4%. So we usually actually cover most of the sectors. And next slide, please. Distribution of projects. As you can see that the major part, 45%, is Asia, Latin America. I think that we should say Europe rather than European Union. And followed by Middle East and North Africa, and also Africa and the other regions. Next slide, please. Yeah. So our operations, as I explained it before, because of, our colleagues here, they represent different entities and sectors. So it's reflected here. For example, capacity development, technical cooperation. We have colleague here, and for example, for that, we have reverse linkage, we have regional cooperation and integration, research and training, Islamic economics and finance, ISDBI, you can refer to them. And for SME microfinance, very important for the country, for the job creation, even for Wawasan objectives, one of them was for the highly educated and accomplished people, and among the top 10. So SME microfinance is the backbone of the economy, and we are here for that because it's the second pillar of the MOU signed by excellencies, and the trade finance promotion, ITFC, and the development of Islamic finance, ISFD, and other colleagues, ISDBI, and investment protection export, ISEC, that I explained it just in brief to you. Next slide, please. Yeah. Our main focus areas. There are 3 main focus areas. Actually, they are the objectives of after realignment strategy. So the boosting recovery is a short-term objective. Why? Because of the COVID-19 when it happened, so it was the urgent needs of the member countries and also the ISDB. So they got together and just designed these areas. So boosting recovery. Still, we have this. Maybe who knows? Maybe another pandemic may happen. So we should, ready for that event. And tackling increasing poverty is the medium term, and driving green economy is the long term objective. Next slide, please. Yeah. For special initiatives, we have APIF, Awqaf Property Investment Fund. It's usually for the type of projects for the residential buildings, commercial buildings, or maybe also the mixed use of them, renovation, expansion, and also through development of idle Waqf lands. And what else? For example, maybe the minimum starts with $5 million. We have colleagues here, they can help you for Waqf, and we know that it's one of the important priorities of the country. We many times heard from these the ministries about Waqf, Ministry of Religious Affairs especially. And of course, the beneficiary is the charitable organization. And who can apply for that? Of course, the government who manage this Waqf, like MORA, and also the NGOs. And for the Lives and Livelihood Fund, which call it LLF. LLF usually is for the LDMCs and the lower middle income countries. And so we have this is blended finance. It's a combination of the grant and loan. So the grant comes from Bill Melinda Gates, for example, some donors, but the loan comes from ISDB. And we have an impact committee. The impact committee, the responsibility is to define some project with a high impact for the country. So invest in those sectors with the highest impact. This is one of the strategy that we have. And also for LLF, this, for example, we have the partnership of ISDB and Abu Dhabi Fund, Qatar Fund, King Salman Foundation, and some other partners. Economic Empower Fund. Here we just gave an example for Palestine people with 300,000 people. We targeted, and by providing line of finance to local banks to help those people. Of course, I just checked it. There is other countries, but here maybe no need. And next slide, please. Yeah. So we have the major partners, Arab Coordination Group. So for some projects, we go to the country and we ask our Arab Coordination Groups, which consist of these funds, as you can see, top, and then MDBs. Also, we have the partnership with the UNDP, ADB, and IFAD and World Bank in many projects, and also bilateral and other organizations. Next slide, please. Oh, thank you. Terima kasih banyak. We forgot. Kami lupa. Menaruh apa terima kasih here because of official language. There are tiga bahasa. Terima kasih banyak untuk your patience. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Yang Mulia Ali Falahi. It was a very insightful presentation. Before we move on to the next presenter, we will now be opening the floor for a question and answer session. If there are no any questions, we will now move on to the next presenter. Any questions?
Okay, I don't see there are any questions, Dr. Ali. You did a very good job. Everybody understood very well. So, Assalamu alaikum, selamat pagi, inshallah semua baik. I apologize for that picture. I didn't know they were going to put that up. I mean, please look at me here. I'm more professional than the picture over there. So, yeah. So, my name is Sayyid Faik Najib. I'm from the Islamic Development Bank Institute, formerly known as IRTI, Islamic Research and Training Institute. Just by a show of hands, how many people here are somehow involved in Islamic finance? Only the boss is involved, I mean, and the boss's team. So most of you are new. Okay, good, because let me introduce to you Islamic Development Bank Institute, which is formerly IRTI. We are the knowledge hub of the Islamic Development Bank Group. We work closely with all the entities and our partners, and we have a few things in our mandate. Think of us as the soft skills institute of the Islamic Development Bank. What does that mean? We look into policies, strategy, law, regulation, supervision framework, products, manuals, training, capacity building, and economic development solutions, all for the benefit of our 57 member countries. Now, uniquely for Islamic finance as well as Islamic economics, our mandate is actually worldwide, global. So even for Muslim communities beyond the 57 member countries, we are working with them, supporting them, helping them find solutions. I do have a bit of presentation slides, but unfortunately we have to keep saying next. So maybe I'll skip a few slides, but I'll cover whatever I need to cover. So I'll have to say next because we don't have a clicker over here. So I think my colleague has already mentioned that we are having more than 4 decades of experience. We were established in 1981, formerly as IRTI. But I'll tell you the reason also, one of the reasons why we have rebranded ourselves as the ISDB Institute. So you can skip 2-3 slides while I'll tell the people what exactly the ISDB Institute does. So previously, we were focusing mainly on research, training, conferences, and all those. I think most of you know about IRTI before because IRTI has been very active in Brunei in the past in conferences and so on. But now, being the ISDB Institute, we are not just restricted in terms of research, conference, and so on. In fact, we are now more hands-on partners with our member countries where we are developing initiatives which are impactful and deliver results on the ground. And this is not just restricted to Islamic finance. In fact, if you go to the next slide, we have something which we call a blue ocean strategy, where the partners we have instead of duplicating efforts, instead of replicating efforts, one of the problems in the Islamic finance industry, and those who are familiar will know, is that everybody was doing things differently on their own initiative. But instead, we believe in leveraging our network. As the Islamic Development Bank, we are the founders of many Islamic finance infrastructure institutions. Brunei is a member of most of these organizations. Has anybody over here heard of the IFSB, Islamic Financial Services Board? Right? So I mean, those who know Islamic finance, they would know it. So Brunei is a founding member. Islamic Development Bank is a founding member. Anybody has heard of IOFI, Accounting and Auditing Organization? So these are institutions which are set up. What we have done is, instead of duplicating efforts, we leverage on our partners and we find meaningful solutions in terms of policies, frameworks, strategies, master plans, national development plans, products, manuals, and so on. So next slide, please. So we have not just focused on the, in terms of Islamic finance itself. In the past 3-4 years, we have ventured towards economic development as well. So we are working towards finding sustainable solutions for our member countries, and we are from the soft skill side. So we work on feasibility studies, we work on SWOT analysis, we work on country reports. So just last week, for example, we finished a comprehensive project with Kazakhstan to see how exactly Islamic finance can help them unlock their economic potential. Now, with our feasibility report, when we come to a closure in terms of that with the policy recommendations, this is then passed on to the different hubs and to the different entities of the bank to engage in the resource mobilization, financing, and so on activities. So consider us as the first stage in terms of the soft side of things, in terms of the feasibility of things. And of course, with the contemporary times, with the present times, we have increasingly started using solutions which involve technology, fintech, blockchain, artificial intelligence, and so on. So next slide, please. Let me give you a bit, we can skip this also. Let's go to the next slide. Let me give you a bit about some of our activities. So the Islamic Development Bank Institute, we have supported more than 40 countries to date, and this includes both our member countries and our non-member countries. Within these 40 countries, we have helped in the development of national master plans, regulatory frameworks, supervision frameworks, law for Islamic banking, capital markets, for takaful insurance, for Islamic social finance, for zakat, awqaf, for fintech companies, for digital companies. We have directly helped the development of policies in 20 countries. In a general training, capacity building, and previously IRTI with its conferences research, we have done more than 44 countries to date, and we have more and more countries in the pipeline. Even from the non-member countries, as far as Fiji to Thailand and Cambodia within the region, and even going towards the west, in the western countries, and of course, and Africa and Central Asia is the most active region for us at the moment. So we have trained more than 20,000 people over time. We have more than 500 publications. Within the fintech realm, we already have 3 patents which are issued. These are mainly related to economic and finance solutions, which we have at the moment, 3 patents registered, and we have 1 more pending. To increase our outreach, we are also offering now our e-learning courses. We have a edX platform, which is a virtual capacity building activity, and also our capacity building is now more customized and tailored to what is the needs of the country. So in Brunei, we have a strategic partnership with your Brunei Institute of Leadership and Islamic Finance, which has been set up by the central bank. And we are exploring with them more details about how we can develop the next generation entrepreneurs. So we are also focusing a lot on the leadership and development. So in terms of the money, of course, it's not as impressive as ITFC or banks. I mean, we don't have like billions, but this number which you just saw, $17 million of grant approval. So one difference we have from them is this is grant money. We don't ask the country to pay back. Yeah, it's free. So, but this number has increased. It's more than $18 million at the moment for our different projects. So I will be stopping at this stage. I have another presentation in the afternoon where I'll be going through the detailed programs in terms of how we can support Brunei better in terms of our different intervention. These are just some details about our patents as well as about some of our flagship projects. We are also the coordinator for the ISDB Prize for Islamic Economics and Finance. But in the interest of time, I will stop at this stage, but there will be another session in the afternoon by the Institute where we will tell you more details about our programs and how Brunei can benefit from them. So with that, thank you very much, and any questions, please do let me know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Syed Faik Najib. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be opening the floor for question and answer at the end of the session. Moving on, our next presenter, presenting regarding the Islamic Solidarity Fund for Development, ISFD, please welcome Yang Mulia Muhammad Yusri bin Yusuf.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning to all of you. First of all, thank you for my two presenters, very forceful. For me, I decided to stay put here because I traveled all the way from Jeddah and just arrived this morning. So I tried to tone down a bit, but no worries, I'll stay put here, inshallah. Okay, ISFD basically stands for Islamic Solidarity Fund for Development. So we are actually the second youngest of IDB. We just set up barely around 2007. So we are coming to decades in operations. So our presentation basically, first of all, I try to give some profile, what sort of ISFD mandate, what sort of vision, mission, flagship projects, so on and so forth. And second, I try to give the relevance why we are today, so how we can bring value to Brunei Darussalam. And the third one, we try to put forth an innovative proposal from ISFD. We can see that there's a lot of opportunity we can work together in the future, inshallah. So I prepared basically 40 pages slide presentation for 50 minutes. I was told 50 minutes at first place. Now it become 10 minutes, so slash it by 30%. So I don't know how I want to fasten the presentation. So really on a faster mode from gear 2 to gear 3, inshallah. Next slide, please. Can we start the slide? Okay, as mentioned, we just started our operations 2007. So meaning it's all about around almost 20 years coming, inshallah. So we try very hard to be on par with the rest of the siblings. So our senior here, ITFC is our youngest, sorry, ICD, ISEC, IDBI. Next slide, please. The vision, so very specific. We are mandated to reduce poverty in YC member countries. If we can equate or mirror with the operation of World Bank, we just like IDA. So IDA very focused, so to make sure that we get involved with the area where IDB not get involved in full or full-blown operation. We try to make sure that there's an element of a gap we can reduce, and we try to focus on poverty elevation in our IC member countries. Next, please. The mission. So we try to have an innovative solution for this, and our focus, of course, to the least developed member countries. When we say least developed member countries, we are looking at many countries in Africa region. But of course, having said that, we're also having operation in this region also. We try to make sure that we try to meet the needs of each country. Like Brunei, I think we're still having some opportunity for us to work on for micro, small, medium enterprises. So we have 4 pillars. We try to get involved with education, women and youth, economic empowerment, community development, and health. These are 4 pillars we are looking at. Next, please. In terms of alignment with IDB, so of course we are having a few areas as mentioned. We are dealing with SME segment. So we try to make sure that how we can use our tool. Later on we may go through on the economic empowerment tool. How economic empowerment tool can be used for our SME intervention on the ground. So to some extent also we get involved with the Islamic finance, because the pillar of our operation, we actually do our operation using WAC concept. So meaning when we raise our capital, so we use cash and property WAC as our source of capital raising. Next, please. What's the uniqueness of ISFD? So the first point, work powered stability. So this is our uniqueness of ISFD. So we want to make sure that the underlying principle when we try to raise funding in the market, so we want to make sure the element of work will be there. So I think this is an area we can think together with Brunei. I think there's a lot of opportunity we can think about in the area of cash and also poverty work later on. And second, building better life. So of course, as mentioned, so poverty elevation happen in everywhere out of the world. So either how we translate the poverty is depend on the definition of each country. So I think through my reading of poverty in Brunei, so the definition on poverty actually the income or power spending more than $5 per day, so which is different from the typical poverty or hardcore poverty, which is $1.99 per day in many countries. The third one, direct investment for impact. Of course, impact is very powerful now. So we can intervene in many areas, but the bottom line always is all about impactful. So these are the things probably we need to think about in the future when we do business. We want to do some very impactful on the ground so that we can measure what sort of KPIs we achieve in the future. The fourth one, creating lasting solution. So again, we are talking about sustainability. So sustainability is very common buzzword now. So whatever we do, it goes back to the same concern. Apart from impact, we need to be sustainable, which is very element we need to really focus and really emphasize on. Next, please. The portfolio, economic empowerment, the highest contribution. So again, when we talk about economic empowerment, it's very broad in nature. So in terms of sectors, we are focusing on agriculture, 21%, microfinance, energy. Next, please. And the second one, human capital development. So to some extent, we also get involved with education, health, and water and sanitation. Next, please. And other sectors, we also doing work property development. So this one actually is quite unique. So really we want to see how we can work together with Brunei. So we need to find a good location, work land, so that we can work on in a big way for this, inshallah, in the future. Next, please. In terms of program, if I can give us some big overview where so we are pretty small, because at the end of the day, Brother Ali mentioned about the total approval for IDP, almost 190 billion so far, and ours actually 1.23 billion. Because why? Because we never can involve with the infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, it will involve billions, but now we are talking about poverty elevation. We try to bridge the gap in terms of intervention, mainly in micro, small, medium enterprises. But in terms of leverage, we have a leverage 1.1 to 6. So meaning if we can bring 10 million from ISFD, so we are able to mobilize resources from partners 60 million. So it's quite a big leverage amount we can do actually. Next, please. Flagship program, I just run through. I won't go for detail. So first of all, we have Alpha program, this one for blindness. So we try to give assistance to the blindness problem in Africa. So we can see a lot of beneficiaries getting from our solution in Africa for Alpha program. Next, please. Out of school children program, we also have this program actually in Mali, Burkina Faso, Nigeria. So it is very important to make sure that children back to school. So even we have a few program in Syria also. So in detail we can share with you, but these are very prominent interventions so far in those countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Nigeria. Next, please. This one, Tadamun. Tadamun, actually, we try to working together with the NGO, because we found out NGO is very important. So without NGO, we cannot reach out the beneficiaries on the ground on effective manner. because we know for the fact NGOs playing crucial role in many countries. So without them, actually, we cannot reach out the beneficiaries really. So we have the platform so that we are able to see more beneficiaries on the ground. Next, please. This one actually surf actually is quite forceful effect during COVID-19. During the COVID-19, we know for the fact so many entrepreneurs getting not affected with the pandemic. So we approach a few countries like Palestine, Uganda, Jordan, try to have like a line of finance. So we know during that time they require liquidity to really revive the affected medium small enterprises. So we try to have like a leverage model. So we give like a 50 million to a few countries and then try to bring partnership from the local FIs. So these are very impactful so-called program at the point of time. We are able to mobilize resources almost half billion during that time, during the COVID-19. So the local partnership is very supportive and try to make sure that the economic revive through micro, small, medium enterprises at that point of time during pandemic. Next, please. So this is another global refugees that we have now in many countries like Yemen, Syria, so on and so forth. So it's quite strategic for us to get involved or provide assistance to refugees. Next, please. And Al-Quds Empowerment Fund, also another so-called trust fund. We are trying to complement the trust fund at IDB level. Try to intervene some activities or intervention in Palestine. So Alhamdulillah, we are getting good response from the global partners to be with us on this Al-Quds Empowerment Fund. Next, please. This is another prominent flagship for us, Life and Livelihood Fund, which is a good model. We team up with the Bill and Melinda Foundation, so Bill Gates group. So this is very significant flagship for us. So we are able to bring partners from Qatar, from UAE, from Kuwait to be with us. So we mobilize almost 400 million for this together with Bill Melinda Gates. Next, please. Economic empowerment. Economic empowerment is very strategic tool for us. So I don't know how many minutes I have so far. So finish. Let me make a very quick one to faster to gear 4 now. So so economic empowerment actually is all about the tool for us to do micro, small, immediate enterprises. So it's not about the funding. We go beyond that. We try to make sure we access to market. We have a sufficient affordable support and then provide intelligent partnerships, so on and so forth. Next, please. Okay, we can go the detail later on. Next, please. Okay, resource mobilization. So very quick. We have a core capital. We have a complementary capital. Next, please. What is a core capital? Next, please. Okay, core capital, basically we are getting money from our member countries. So far we are getting 2.53 billion capital paid. So mainly from these sources, IDB 1 billion, Saudi Arabia 1 billion, Kuwait, Qatar, Algeria, others, and IDB. Yeah, so yeah, these are the main contributors. Next, please. Okay, why IDB ISFD is here today? Next, please. Okay, these are the things we are looking at. We are promoting Islamic finance. As mentioned, we are trying to promote cash and poverty work and try to work together with our colleague here at IDBI and also at PIF to look how we can mobilize resources and to make sure that we are able to achieve something here. Second, supporting SME ecosystem. So again, we try to bring economic empowerment approach to lead the ecosystem in Brunei on SME ecosystem. And the third pillar, we are talking about intervention. Of course, mostly on our intervention on youth and women empowerment. And they are our targeting beneficiaries. Next, please. Okay, building synergy with Brunei stakeholders. We are looking at these stakeholders to work with us. So inshallah, probably there are a few staff from those ministries and agencies. So we are more than happy to meet up. Next, please. So these are the partners we are having now. So next, please. So very various and diversified. We are more than happy to bring together with Brunei stakeholders over here. Next, please. Okay, these are very unique. So we try to mention about SFD capital. So based on three components, country size, GDP, country value export, and country value foreign exchange, we are coming up with this table. Next, please. So in terms of those three parameters, so basically we are looking at the capital from Brunei around 26.5 million. Next, please. Next, please. So far, we are getting from Brunei 3 million. So we are looking forward to have a good contribution for country for a good proposal. I mentioned the next slide later on. Next, please. So ranking-wise, these are the countries as mentioned. Next, please. An innovative proposal from ISFD for Brunei. Okay, bear with me for 1 minute. The last round, okay. Next, please. Okay, we are looking at the impact or ESG investment fund. So we are looking forward to work with the relevant stakeholder in Brunei to come up with the USD 100 million impact investment fund, under which ISFD looking forward to contribute 25 million, combined together with the government of Brunei, 25 million arising from the remaining share capital. And of course, another 50 million, we are looking forward other private sectors to be with us. And even we are looking at how we can develop cash work sukuk for this. So we are more than happy to discuss further on this. Next, please. So these are the basic structure for that. SFD, Government of Brunei, other participants come together and invest into the impact fund and will do the direct investment into the impactful MSME business and ecosystem in Brunei Darussalam, inside and outside intervention. Next, please. The last one, we're also looking at how we can work together with the Yayasan Sultan Hasan Bolkiah. So because we have a very unique product called Cashwalk Link Sukuk on shelf. And also we are also doing Global International Solidarity Arms Giving Fund. So we are very much happy to see how we can develop work in Brunei and work together with the Yayasan. With that, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Mulia Muhammad Yusuf bin Yusuf. Our next presenter will be delivered by Yang Mulia Shaiful Kamarul bin Muhammad regarding the Islamic Cooperation for the Insurance of Investment and Export Credit, ICIEC.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, brothers and sisters. I'm proud today to be here representing ISAC. This year, 2024, is our 30th anniversary, so we are 30th years old as today. And we are the unfunded institution, unlike my other two colleagues. I take money from you, but they are giving money to you, so we save the best for last. Okay, next. Next. This is introduction, just skip it. If you look at Isaac unique role, we are rated by Moody's AA3. At the same time, we just got S&P Global rating AA minus. So it is very important for countries that having a non-investment grade. So for a credit enhancement, they can utilize our product to mobilize fund to the countries. Next. Next. So this is our offering. We are considered as an export credit insurance, export credit agencies of the OIC member states. We facilitate trade, especially from member states, export globally, and also foreign direct investment coming to the member states. Through our insurance solution, we have a couple of products that is important. For trade and investment insurance offering, number one, supplier credit insurance. This applies to both member states and non-member states. For export from member states, we can go anywhere. Import from non-member states, usually developed countries coming to a member states, we usually restrict to only capital goods. We also provide insurance and confirm letters of credit. This is for facilitate banks where certain banks in I would say countries where they perceive the banks are not considered as a better rating, they use our insurance to enhance the risk. We provide trade finance insurance. This is an export credit insurance. If the buyers don't pay, we will compensate the exporters for the loss. Investment insurance, we covers foreign direct investment. This is to encourage investment, especially in our member states. There are 23 in Africa, perceived as risky countries. So with our investment insurance, it enhances the profile of those countries. At the same time, as an insurance company, we also provide reinsurance. We have clients like Malaysian Exim Bank, Indonesian Exim Bank. These are the two national ECAs that share their risk to us. So in the event of claims, we will provide certain percentage back to them. And in return, they can enhance their capacity for their trade insurance. Next. This basically our clients, banks and financial institutions, corporates, export credit agencies of other nationals, and also the investors. If you look at our latest offering, we have a Sukuk insurance policy. This is something new. Countries where they want to have capital market or to approach the capital market with Sukuk, especially countries, as I mentioned just now, without investment grade rating, we can provide our insurance solutions enhanced with our credit ratings. Next. Next, skip this one. This internal. These are our distribution of the member states, similar to OIC. Currently, only 56. We just had Togo as our new member last month. So another 7 states have not ratified our article of agreement, so we still have currently 50 members. Next. These are the top shareholders, Saudi Arabia being the major shareholders. Egypt, Iran, UAE, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Morocco, and Turkey, representing about 50% of our capital. And we have actually this last year and this year tried to increase our capital through our third general capital increase. Malaysia has agreed to subscribe. Indonesia is in the process. I think Brunei have not agreed to increase the shares in Isaac, but hopefully we can reapproach the Ministry of Finance, maybe to resell Isaac and how we can accommodate many transactions to Brunei. Next. In the last 30 years, we have insured more than 100 billion, 114 billion, and the majority of our transactions are in Africa and Asia, that accounting for about 82% to 82 or 83% of that 114 billion. Next. Obviously, as a developmental institution, we very selective in our transaction with the developmental impact and results. These are the distribution of the amount in terms of sectors that we have supported. Next. ESG is another parameters that we use in our transactions. I will not go into details on this. Next. In terms of facilitating intra-OIC trade and investment, out of 114 billion that we have supported, almost 50% coming from the OIC member states, about 51 billion. Next. We recently focused on food security, especially after the war, Russia-Ukraine. A lot of our member states that rely on importing goods from the impacted regions suffered from the increase of the price. So we use our insurance product solutions to support the imports of food to those members that are affected. Next. Can skip. Can skip this one. This is just an expansion of our success story in supporting the food security. Can skip all these examples. Next. At the same time, along with the current development and the Paris Agreement, we are very much in support of the climate action transactions, especially on the renewable energy and renewable transitions to green energy. Next. So this is the partnership that we have with many institutions that support the climate action. Next. Climate change policy. ISAC has developed its climate change policy to address the climate change. So many of our transactions, one of the KPI, we will be looking at the climate change. Next. Along with ESG framework, this is another parameters that we use in all the underwriting of our cases. Next. These are some of the climate action case studies. A good example in Cote d'Ivoire, we provided African Development Bank with almost euro 200 million for sustainable agriculture, health and education, and renewable energy. In Senegal, we support their solar energy. This is with Standard Chartered of euro 103 million insurance cover. Next. So there are many cases about ISAC supporting green energy. So these are many instances that we have supported it. You can skip these slides. Skip it. Next. Okay. Sharjah Waste to Energy project. This is the first project that we supported on the WTE. There are many projects, similar project in Indonesia currently that we are looking at. We have won an award for that transactions because of the complexity of it. Transportation is another sector that we heavily support. You can skip because all these slides is illustrating what we have done. This is also on transportation in Turkey, Indonesia electricity project with car power ship. This is a Turkish company provide with the only technology in the world, they claim, that a vessel with electricity power. So in the remote of Indonesia, they have 5 ships that support this initiative, and we provide covers for contract frustration. In the event if government terminate the contract, then we will compensate the project company. Next. all my slides, they are case studies, but I will skip it to save times, and I will pass it over to my colleagues. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Saiful. Okay, my name is Nur Azmi, so I am representing ICD for today's presentation. Next, okay, I will be quickly to go through our slides, which has just 11 slides altogether. So next, we are the private sector arm of Islamic Development Bank Group. Was established in 1999 with authorized capital of $4 billion. Like IDB, we have a rating of single A from Moody's, Fitch, and S&P. Next. So ICD, we have 56 member countries from all the regions with that offer great opportunities for investment and financings. Next. Since inception, we have approval up over than $7 billion, and we have disbursed over 4.5 billion US dollar from 56 member countries. Go next. So ICD product and services, we have three main sectors: financial sector, real sector, and treasury and syndication. For financial sector, we offer line of finance to banks and non-banks. We also participate in equity for banks and also non-banks. And for real sector, we offer term finance and infrastructure finance to our corporate clients. And also partly we do equity corporate for the private sector. And for the third services that we offer is on the syndication and resource mobilization. We helping our clients in the region to basically access to alternative funding solutions through syndication and also issuance of sukuk. Next slide, please. From the regional and sectorial breakdown, we focus mainly to give access to finance to our FIs, which help to support the economic growth in our member countries. Next slide. This is one of the key products of ICD, lines of finance to banks and non-banks. For the SME sector, we're helping the SMEs by giving lines to banks in dollar currency. Next slide. We also offering equity to some of the banking sector and also non-banking. Next slide, please. This is our key products that we offer to real sector for corporate finance and infrastructure finance. One of the, I think, eligible financing that we emphasize is on the shareholding of the obligor must be 50% from the private sector company. For the corporate finance, we offering up to 7 years tenor, and for infrastructure we can go up to 18 years for longer financing. Next slide, please. Our capital market team, we can assist the corporate client to issue sukuk, especially the offshore sukuk. So we assist from the, I think, from the selection until to closing of the deals. Next slide, please. So this is our overall development impact targets. By 2029, we hope to create 550,000 new jobs and give access to 95,000 SMEs and also provide 1 million people providing with access to Islamic finance. I think that's all from my side. We will have a detailed session in B2B this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yang Mulia. Now, Azmi Razali, our final presenter that will be delivering regarding International Islamic Trade Finance Corporation, ITFC, by Yang Mulia Iftikhar Alam.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Iftikhar and I look after the ITFC portfolio in South and Southeast Asia. So in the interest of time, I would like to make it very quick. Actually, I should start with good afternoon because it's already 12 o'clock. So yeah, can you please move fast, please? So yeah, like many other entities, we serve the member countries, and as we speak now, we have got 57 in our list, and the figure would be around $79 billion of approval that we have approved so far for the member countries. Next one, please. Yeah, so this is our mandate and vision and mission, pretty much similar to our parent, which is IDB and other entities. Next one. So interestingly, out of 57 member countries, 27 are active borrower from ITFC in the form of trade finance, and we do cover public sector, private sector, and also the within the private sector, we also have the corporate and FIs. Thank you. Next one. Yep. So it's a very busy slide, headquartered in head of Jeddah, and all the numbers. But the most important part is energy. Sometimes we get questions why we are still supporting the fossil fuel, but this is a very simple answer we usually provide. If we stop doing that, the blood of the economy stops, and if the blood of the economy stops, how we are going to move into the blue economy or green economy? And that is why we think we are one of the MDBs still supporting the energy sectors for the country to moving from the less developed to developed countries in the future. Next one, please. So this is the approval. I mean, if you look at it, the growth that we have done, Touchwood is phenomenal, and that really resonates very well with the member countries, the way we are supporting during the crisis time. If I give you a quick example in the near Asian countries, I mean, if you look at Maldives and Bangladesh, which are the two countries going through a very difficult time, but we have never left the boat. We are still supporting them for their very special need, which is the energy and the food sectors. Next one, please. You can skip this one. Yeah, so this is, as I mentioned, our main focus is on the energy, followed by the financial institutions. What we do is definitely with the setup that we have got, we cannot support the SME clients in each and every member country. So we go through the FIs, and that's a very popular model. As we speak now, we have got around 44 FIs across the member countries, and it is going very fast. And this is one of the popular products that we see is being accepted by the less developed and the developing countries in our portfolio. Next one. So out of the approval that you have given, it's mostly going to the 38% are going to the less developed member countries, and the rest are going to the countries who are rated better than LDMCs. Next one. So typically we have got three mode of financing. One is direct financing that we give it to the corporate, line of financing to the banks to support the SMEs, and Murabaha financing that we have directly either with the public sector SOEs or even with the government of the member countries. Next one, please. We also have a structured commodity finance product that we have in selected countries, and that is gaining momentum because we do support food grains, and if there is any requirement in Brunei, we'll be happy to look into it as well. Next one. You can skip this one. So we have one particular department I would like to emphasize here, which is the trade development. So we not only give financing, but we also support the financial institutions and the borrower to improve their capacity. So let me give you an example. I'll go, like countries like Bangladesh and Maldives, they're trying to improve their Islamic financing. So what we do, we invite the scholars from the Islamic financing world and then train the bankers to go for the best practice in the Islamic banking. Not only that, I mean, if there is any particular borrower who's in an industry and we see that there's a lack of knowledge among the staff, then we try to finance those staff for the training program. One of the most popular one is in the banking industry, we promote them to do a lot of ICC accreditation course, both through online and in a physical presence. Next one, please. Is it the last one? No. No. Yeah. You can skip this one, please. Thank you. Yeah. Skip, please. Skip this one as well. Please skip this one. So this is one of the most notable one, I would say. It's a company of $1.1 billion of equity. But if you look at our figures, over the last 15 years, we have extended almost 79 billion. The question is where the money is coming from. So every year, on an average, over the last few years, we are disbursing around 6 to 7 billion. So 1 billion is going from our own capital, $1 billion is coming from our parent IDB, and another 5 to 6 billion is coming from the treasury market. So whenever we go to the market, they see ITFC IDB is fronting the deal. So the FIs from the back end, they see the comfort of dealing with us to give the fund to the same corporate, which they might not go on a bilateral basis, because sorry, I don't want to go to that Australian slang, but when the difficult time, usually the MDBs come into the front as the preferred creditor. So if we get paid, they get paid. But definitely the commercial banks don't get this kind of comfort. So any financial institution people sitting here, if you would like to go and do financing in a member countries, which you consider as challenging, please do talk to us. We can help you the way most probably other commercial banks cannot. And the experience that you have got and the access that you have got to the government and to the private sector is phenomenal. And the way we can help you, definitely we are almost second to none. Next one. So these are the financial institutions who work with us, either they in the form of syndicate partners or they place the fund with us for us to on lend to our corporate or our FIs. Thank you. Next one. So regional hub, we have got around 5 offices. The nearest one is Jakarta. I'm sitting in Jakarta and I cover these countries. But we also have the office in Dakar, in Dhaka, Rabat, and Istanbul. Next one, I think we are almost done. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take.
Thank you very much to all of our presenters. We are now opening the floor for a question and answer session. If there are no questions, please give another round of applause to our presenters, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are pleased to present you a short video presentation about the ISDB Group private sector entities. With that, ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment and enjoy the video presentation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be having our lunch break. Kindly help yourselves to refreshments once again provided at the lobby area, and we will continue again at 1:30 p.m. with the ISDB group workshop. Please kindly return here before 1:30 p.m. as we would like to keep track of time. Enjoy your lunch and see you later, ladies and gentlemen. Testing, 1, 2. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is my pleasure to welcome you back to the Islamic Development Bank Group ISDB Group Day in Brunei. I hope you've enjoyed your lunch and everyone here is back all energized as we are now continuing with a group workshop by ISDB Group. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite all ISDB Group speakers up to the stage to take their respective places and prepare to deliver their presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, our first presenter, please welcome Young Mulia Syed Faik Najib that will be presenting on Islamic Finance Technical Assistant Programs by the ISDB Institute.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, after lunch is always the graveyard shift. What it means is nobody wants to come. Even me, I don't want to come, but you see. Well, alhamdulillah, I don't know. I want to congratulate all of you, first of all, for braving and coming back for this lunch. Also to our host today, thank you for staying back. And I also want to repeat what I said in the morning. That picture does not represent me. Look at me, I'm right here in front of you. So as I promised, this will be a bit more into the details about how our programs of interventions work at the ISDB Institute. I'm going to give you the scope of work as well. And even though we have a limited audience, we will see if there's any interest for you all to work with us on some of these programs. We can have separate B2B business meetings. For this one, I will be using my presentation slides, so I'll be saying next and next again. Apologies for that. Let's move on to the next slide, please. So to give you a bit of a background, we started intervening with our grant funds to support our member countries from about 2007, when the global Islamic finance industry was picking up. It was gaining attention of the stakeholders all over the world. And we started supporting and developing regulatory frameworks since 2007 onwards. However, it was not a formalized framework. It was only towards a later year in 2013 when the Board of Governors of the Islamic Development Bank approved a fund called Special Allocation for the Development of the Islamic Financial Services Industry. So the numbers you're going to see today, I'm actually going to be quoting to you after the approval of this fund, which is from 2013 onwards. And as I clarified in the morning, our priority is our member countries, including Brunei, Darussalam, which is an important member country for us. But our mandate is worldwide. We even support Islamic finance development wherever there are Muslim communities in the non-member countries. So in the ASEAN region, it will include Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia, and others if there is an interest from there. Next slide, please. So let's just to tell you what we have done so far. We have completed 70 projects. This number is from Q2, but in fact, just earlier this month, I have completed 2 projects myself personally, one for Egypt and one for Kazakhstan. So we have completed 70 projects, And I'll explain you what type of projects we have done. We have currently about 49 under implementation, and we do have a very active pipeline. What it means is that the requests are increasing, particularly from the Central Asian region as well as from Sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa. We have a very active demand for Islamic finance support. So directly we have advised 20 countries in their policies, national plans, master plans, strategic frameworks, regulatory framework, supervision framework, law in these countries. And we also work together with more than 10 partner organizations. This includes the MDBs, such as World Bank, Asian Development Bank, as well as the Islamic finance infrastructure entities, such as IFSB, IOFI, IIFM, SEBAFI. These are institutions. One is based in Malaysia, the others in Bahrain. ISDB is a founding member. Next slide, please. So what type of work we do? Now, within the principles of Islamic economics and finance, anything related to banking, capital markets, insurance, social finance, microfinance, digital finance, SME finance, and through collaboration with the bank on thematic areas such as sustainability, SDGs, climate action, women and youth empowerment, conflict, fragility, resilience, humanitarian assistance to displaced refugees, all these from the soft skill side. So we're not the money people. We don't have the money. Well, we're more from the advisory technical side of things. And our interventions include policies and benchmark, thematic policies. We are also able to work together to advise on products, on instruments, as well as creation of standards and industry benchmarks, as well as capacity building. Next slide, please. So in terms of the work we have done so far, so about the 70 projects which we have completed and about another 50 under implementation, altogether for these 120 or so programs, we have approved of about $18 million in grant finance. Now what it means is that this grant finance, this is not repayable. So it's not a financing, it's more of a technical assistance. Similar to a World Bank technical assistance or an ADB technical assistance, this is the ISDB technical assistance for Islamic finance, which the Institute is supporting and implementing. Next slide, please. So these are our current projects at the moment in different parts of the world. So if you can see previously from the IRTI mandate, where we were only doing research and training, we have moved beyond to even look at climate action, syndicated financing. Earlier today, we had a meeting with Brunei Fertilizer regarding syndicated finance, impact investment, green sukuk, digital information system. In some countries, we're also supporting urban city development, microfinance. Of course, our traditional work of regulatory and supervisory framework, training, capacity building, all that is also taking place across many different countries. Next slide, please. So since we became the ISDB Institute, and particularly after the COVID-19 period, so these are some of the numbers where I want to show you the increasing demand. Normally, when you look at the global financial system, the architecture, you have a lot of development banks. One thing which makes the Islamic Development Bank distinct is our principles are guided by Sharia finance or Islamic finance. So all our transactions are Islamic finance. So for us at the Institute, we are like the knowledge hub, particularly in the areas of Islamic finance. So after COVID, there is an acceleration. You can see in the past 3 or 4 years, 54 new projects, more than 30 countries, more than 16 partner organizations, and all the types of, including going into areas of innovation, digitalization, using the non-profit sector, the social finance sector, using the Awqaf sector, working with the ministries in the non-profit sector, the non-bank sector, cooperative. This is where we're getting increasing focus. We've also started working on flagship initiatives. Next slide, please. Which this is something also very unique, and there are 4 programs I want to showcase today, and particularly the first one might be of interest to Brunei. So one thing I mentioned in the morning was, apart from pure Islamic finance, we've also started working on finding solutions to the development challenges of our member countries. Currently, the Institute is working on 4 flagship initiatives. The first one is creating the concept of Awqaf free zone. Now what this means is there is waqf or endowments in nearly all the countries of the world where Muslims are present, but somehow these are not well managed. Waqf is like people do waqf and then it's not well taken care of. This Awqaf free zone, the concept is to support purely economic development. And within economic development, there are two key areas. It's basically food security as well as energy security. Now, we have requested the government of Brunei to be a partner with us on this Awqaf free zone initiative. I'll give you a brief what this means. What this means if the Waqf land in Brunei, through contributions in this Waqf land, this land can be created and transformed into an economic city where the outputs are used to alleviate the needs of the Muslim Ummah, the OIC member countries, whether it's for producing food, whether it's for producing raw materials, or whether it's for any other Waqf purpose. Now, why it's a free zone is to ensure it's well protected, well regulated, well funded, and there is continuity. It's not abandoned just, after a few years or after 10, 20 years, and then no one is to take care of it. The second flagship initiative we have is the Digital Postal Islamic Financial Services. This aims to achieve two things. One is financial inclusion, and one is to revive the postal network system. In most countries, the use of postage is completely gone. I mean, one thing we also did as the group after the COVID is we have become a paperless organization. We don't have any more paper memos going here and there. Everything is electronic. So same way, the post system is running out of steam. Not many people are using the traditional post. You do use courier companies, but not post. However, there are some less developed countries, and someone mentioned in the morning that a lot of our member countries fall under that category. We're trying to revive financial inclusion through using the postal network and using a digital payment system. So there are some synergies with mobile wallets and telephone payments and so on. We're trying to formalize this in a regulated structure using the postal networks. A third initiative we are doing is something called a counter trade system. Now not half, but most of the ISDB member countries, unfortunately, they have balance of payments crisis. What that means is usually they don't have enough foreign exchange reserves to participate in international trade. Many of them are already under IMF programs, or some of them, there are geopolitical reasons, they're not able to trade with each other. We are exploring the feasibility of a trading system where you are able to transact between the member countries without using the international reserve currency. Okay, so the idea is, in simple words, understand it like a barter system, but the problems of barter was you don't know who needs what, who needs to buy what. We'll organize a trading system where between the member countries you're able to trade without using currency. Be assured this is not a political project. This is nothing to do with international politics, but it's more to do as a sort of a solution for our member countries. And the last initiative I want to quickly share with you is something which we call the Islamic Finance Strategic Mapping Framework. Now, I mentioned to you earlier in the morning, one problem we saw in the Islamic finance country was everybody was doing something on their own. In fact, within one country, there were organizations doing something for Islamic finance while the others in the country do not know. It can happen at the level of the government, at the level of the ministries, at the level of regulatory authorities. I mean, Brunei is unique as the central bank has mandate over all the sectors. But there are countries, the capital market authority is different, the insurance authority is different, the banking authority is different. When we used to get requests as ISDB for support, we used to get sometimes conflicting requests from within the same country. So we have devised a framework where we are able to comprehensively assess all sectors of a country, which includes banking, insurance, capital markets, non-profits, and able to assess what is the current state of development, what is the next need, and what are the gaps which the country needs to plug, and how we as ISDB will support. So far, we have completed this IFMAP assessment in 2 countries, and we have given the reports to the countries. We have completed in Uzbekistan, we have completed in Kazakhstan, and we have just received confirmation from the government of Turkey, to do the next level of assessment. So this might be something which might be of interest to Brunei as well, as this will help us to help you on the Islamic finance and economics development. What is your current state of development and what are the next steps? So I think that's pretty much all the slides. The next slides are just details about this. I think we can skip them. Yeah, I've already explained all these 4 initiatives to you. So Yeah, so going forward, we want to synergize our efforts for Brunei. We have some specific projects in mind related to Awqaf, related to the Islamic finance mapping framework I just discussed with you. And of course, the usual business training, capacity building reports, that is ongoing. Anyway, that one we will keep doing. So with that, basically, I would like to end my presentation. I do not know if there are any questions or not. I do apologize. I have to leave for business to business meetings. It's already delayed. Thank you for waiting, but we started this presentation a bit late. So with that, this is the Institute's presentation and details of the work we do. If you guys have any questions, you can always reach to me, reach out to us, reach out to our colleagues. We are a group, we are together, we work with each other, and we'll be happy to answer your questions and support you in this journey. So with that, thank you. I'm going to end my presentation and take excuse to leave.
Thank you very much, Mr. Syed Faik Najib. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, the question and answer session will be at the end of the presentations. Our next presenter, pleased to invite Yang Mulia Sahal Al Marwai, delivering Introducing the ISDB Group Business Forum, TICA.
Thank you very much, everyone. Before we start, we would like to play a short video about the Islamic Development Bank Group Business Forum called TICA, and then I will continue my presentation.
Nation between its entities and private sector firms in our member countries. Our objective is to make our cutting-edge platform available to investors and leaders committed to partnering in promising investment opportunities. This is supported by our regular investment-related events across the globe, our innovative online portal for generating new projects and networking opportunities. THICA's focus is on promoting cross-border investment among ISDB Group member countries, with the support of ISDB Group's financial products and services. THICA has successfully organized more than 100 international and regional conferences and arranged over 1,000 business meetings in ISDB Group member countries. THICA members also enjoy the following benefits: exploring business opportunities in ISDB Group member countries, access to information and potential partners and counterparts, promoting products and services. Members have full access to THICA's premium facilities. Our head office in Jeddah is a business hub, which includes meeting rooms for events, B2B meetings, video conferencing and webcasting, temporary executive offices and VIP lounge areas for business leaders. To benefit from our services and facilities, please visit THICA's portal. THICA, the window connecting the ISDB Group to the private sector.
So as you have seen, the main objective of THICA is to promote the cross-border investment and trade in member countries, by the way, including Brunei, and to establish strategic partnerships with the leaders of the private sector member countries and including Brunei. Next, please. So THICA was established back in 2009 during the ISDB Group annual meetings in Turkmenistan, Ashgabat. And after that, the office was inaugurated in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Next, please. And as you can see, we serve all ISDB Group entities, including ISDB, ISDBI, ISEC, ICD, ITFC, and ISFD. Next, please. And during the last 3 years, we have organized more than 400 events in 50 countries. And we have promoted more than 2,000 investment and trade projects and opportunities in member countries. And we have implemented different initiatives in more than 30 countries. And by the way, we have more than 120,000 high-level contacts in our database. And we are happy that we are here today to collect, also the business community contacts to be included in our database. And we have also organized and facilitated more than 1,500 B2B and B2G bilateral meetings. Next, please. And as you can see, this is the online invitation integrated database and e-campaign system, which includes different features and functionalities to help us, do the matchmaking and to help us promote, the business opportunities and events. Next, please. And during the last 3 years, we have organized and hosted more than 330 B2B meetings at Thiqa office with the participation of more than 3,850 business men. And by the way, the Thiqa office has equipped with the latest audiovisual system, and the business community here in Brunei, they are welcome, to use and utilize Thiqa office once visiting Saudi Arabia. And we will be happy to connect the business community in Brunei with the GCC business community and with Saudi business community from different sectors. Next, please. And we have also signed and different agreements and MOUs with the business associations, Chamber of Commerce, and investment promotion agencies to maximize the outreach activities with our partners. Next. And one of the main initiatives of Thiqa is the ISDB Group Private Sector Forum. Next, please. And as you can see here, this is the journey of the ISDB Group Private Sector Forum, and we have started 12 years ago in Sudan, Khartoum, and over the years we have enhanced and developed the Private Sector Forum to add more functionalities and of course initiatives, etc., and sessions. And now it became to be one of the main flagship of our annual meetings. Next, please. And as you can see, these are the PSF activities, including country presentations, B2B meetings, award ceremony, startups competition, of course, signing ceremony and exhibition. Next, please. And of course, we always try to target, government officials, business community, media, and at the same time the Chambers of Commerce and Investment Promotion Agency, etc. Next. And this slide presents the major outcomes of PSF with more than 1,500 participants from 60 countries. We have also facilitated more than 400 B2B and B2G bilateral meetings and organized more than 17 sessions with more than 60 speakers. And of course, during the PSF, more than 60 MOUs and agreements have been signed with a total value of 6.5 billion, and 2 reports were launched related to the Islamic Index and Islamic Finance Index and OIC Megatrend, and 18 sectors were presented during the Private Sector Forum. Next. And these are just to show you the side events related to the different entities, ISIC, ICD, ITFC, and at the same time there is ISDB Investment Department, and the global practices and partnerships, which also represent different sectors. Next. And as you can see, we have engaged more than 60 speakers from different sectors and different member countries and high-level moderators as well. Next. And this is, we have launched the online B2B and B2G digital platform. And the good thing about this platform is connected to the on-site zone. So as you can see, we have different zones, okay, with different colors, and to facilitate the matchmaking and networking. And we have facilitated more than 400 B2G and B2B meetings. Next. And as I mentioned before, the private sector entities have signed more than 60 MOUs and agreements with a total value of 6.5 billion. Next. And this is the PSF exhibition with different categories: member countries exhibition, ISDB group exhibition, host country exhibition, and partners booth. And by the way, we really invite the Brunei business community to come and partner with us and participate in the exhibition. So during the next PSF 2025, you are welcome. And of course, Brunei, we will also reach to the government where we can put Brunei in the member, add Brunei in the member countries exhibition, and at the same time, the business community can also participate in the partners, both including BIBD, in the next annual meeting. Next, please. We have also organized a startups competition, and of course, everybody is welcome to apply. And we have 3 categories for ISIC, ICD, and ITFC, with 3 winners in each category, with a total of 9 winners. And more than 100 projects have been evaluated and submitted this year, and more than 35 incubators and accelerators have participated. And I can see that guy, he was just knocking down the other guy saying he will submit. Next. So we have also three PSF awards: ISEC, ICD, and ITFC, with the total winners of with 6 winners in total. Next, please. And this year we tried to go green. So we, as I mentioned before, we have launched the B2B and B2G online platform. We brought interactive robots and digital screens, and to promote the ISDB Group private sector entities, financial and insurance digital solutions. And we have produced digital exhibitions to showcase the entities profile, and at the same time to present and display the entities, products, services, videos, infographics, and success stories. Next, please. And we have benchmarked other MDBs which are organizing similar events, including European Bank for the Reconstruction and Development, Inter-American Development Bank, African Development Bank, and Black Sea Trade Development Bank. And we have presented also the private sector forum during the last IFI's annual meeting coordinators, which was hosted by European Bank for Reconstruction and Development back in London 3 months ago, to discuss the experiences, best practices, and lessons learned. And now other MDBs, they are willing to also launch their private sector business forum, including World Bank, IMF, Asian Development Bank, and Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Next, please. And we are also managing the Arab Coordination Group communication, the outreach, and events. And by the way, the Arab Coordination Group is the second largest donor in the world after DAC. And we will be happy. It's going to be a good opportunity, for the business community in Brunei to come and network and connect with the Arab Coordination Group. Next, please. And of course, we are organizing some activities and events during COP. And this year, the COP will be hosted by Azerbaijan. And we are also inviting the business community here, to come and engage with us, during COP. Next. These are some of the success stories. I'll just go through them quickly. So we have organized the ISDB Golden Jubilee celebration this year in Riyadh. Next. And we have implemented these initiatives, the digital country presentations, the Median series, and the startups competition. Maybe during the next event, we can have more details about these initiatives. Next. And of course, we have provided the technical and logistical support for G20 and head of MDBs. Next, please. And TEQA also provided the technical and administrative support to the G8 Deauville Partnerships IFI's coordination platform. Next. And this is the first digital annual investment meeting, which was launched, in Dubai, with the partnership, of the Ministry of Economy. Next. And these are some of the selected appreciation letters and awards, from external partners. I'll skip that one. Skip, please. And moving forward, we have just put these 3 items. We might organize a business forum here in Brunei or in the region, where we can also promote the local business opportunities and facilitate the cross-border investment and trade. And of course, the business community is welcome to use TEQA office anytime, and we can connect them with the GCC business community, with Saudi business community, or any business community in member country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Young Mulia Sahal Al Marwai. Our next presentation, touching on the value proposition of reverse linkage, the ISDB South-South and Triangular Cooperation modality for Bruneian stakeholders, public, private, and third sector. Pleased to welcome Young Mulia Aminuddin Mat Arif CCD.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I think it seems that I was too successful in marketing reverse linkage since morning. So most of the partners that I met have already had the information and not here right now. I see familiar faces still. So I'm here to introduce to you the reverse linkage modality. Apa itu reverse linkage sebenarnya? It is our South-South Triangular Cooperation modality untuk where we facilitate the collaboration between one country to another. So that is the concept of reverse linkage. It is in-house. It is your product that is developed by Muslims within our organization for the Ummah, inshallah. Next, please. This is not my PowerPoint. Next, please. Okay, this is mine. Alhamdulillah. I thought I was too tired. So quickly to reiterate that the Islamic Development Bank is a multilateral organization since 1975. We are nearly 50 years right now. And also we represent 57 countries. What is so special about these 57 countries adalah they are from the Global South. We are the only multilateral organization that supports the Global South. Apa itu Global South? The Global South is actually member countries that are not from North America or Europe in particular, or the developed countries. Now, so the Islamic Development Bank promotes purely South-South cooperation. Now, reverse linkage is a modality that we introduce as an enhancement of our collaboration and facilitation of value proposition to our member countries, including Brunei. Next, please. By definition, it is a technical cooperation mechanism where one country shares its knowledge with another in order to create and devise solutions for their autonomous development. We are not here to share white elephant, high tech, and all that sort of stuff. We are here to share knowledge in terms of something that is matured, something that is commercially viable, something that is practical, that can be customized to the context of Brunei and to be used for the benefit of Brunei. Next, please. Now, this is the basic structure of reverse linkage. It's a triangular or trilateral engagement where the bank acts as a facilitator, and there is a provider of knowledge and expertise as well as a recipient. So this is the trilateral engagement. But in reverse linkage, it can be multilateral engagement. Maknanya from the recipient side, there could be BIBD, Bank Usahawan, dan sebagainya. Then the provider side, maybe if it is from Malaysia, there are several other stakeholders. So it can be a multi-stakeholder engagement facilitated by the bank. Next, please. What is the value differentiator between our mechanism for South-South triangular cooperation as compared to the World Bank, ADB, Inter-American Development Bank dan sebagainya? We not only work with the public sector and the third sector, but we also work with the private sector. And that is what differentiates us as a modality from the Islamic Development Bank as compared to the rest. Next, please. So what are the 5 core features of reverse linkage? The first one, we will always be aligned to the priority of Brunei, for example. We will not go astray, we will not impose. What we do is as an advisory to recommend opportunities to value add to the existing priority that you have and see how we can tangibly and concretize it. Now, the inclusivity, maknanya, we regard all member countries to be able not only to receive knowledge and expertise. For example, countries like Chad, in sub-Saharan Africa, they not only receive knowledge and expertise, but they are able to share knowledge and expertise dalam segi arid farming. So you can see that we are trying to empower our member countries, not only just to receive, but also gain the confidence of providing knowledge and expertise to other member countries. And what we insist in our collaboration is a peer-to-peer engagement. What does a peer-to-peer means? We will be just merely facilitating the collaboration, and the technical discussion will be between the partners, the provider and the recipient, so that it increases the ownership and commitment, which is one of the core features as well. We will also try to make sure, and this is one of the core features of reverse linkage, a win-win scenario. If we find a collaboration, it's not a win-win. Maknanya, let's say Brunei is a provider of knowledge and expertise dalam segi oil and gas, for example, because of your experience. Then we find that you do not tangibly benefit from it. We are not asking for charity. So we are not gaining something concrete. We will stop that collaboration. Why? Because the intention has never been charity. The intention, the main ultimate objective is to make sure that there is concrete advantage, concrete benefit that is attained from the stakeholders involved in reverse linkage. Now, as a result of the win-win, it reiterates and strengthens the opportunity to, strengthens the ownership and commitment. So the more you are engaged in peer-to-peer, the more the fact that you have tangible benefit, human nature, you will want it to succeed. And that's the reason why we already have a lot of precedents of success, alhamdulillah. Next, please. These are some examples of the products that we have. This is not the only ones, but this is something that I will share now, and in the future we will have more. The first one is a standalone. Maknanya, in the area of, let's say, non-destructive testing. If Brunei is interested, a company from Brunei, or an entity in Brunei that is interested in sharing knowledge and expertise in non-destructive testing, and we know for a fact Mozambique, that is in oil and gas, requires that knowledge and expertise, we will try to develop it. And we put in catalytic financing of up to 200,000 Islamic dinar, maknanya about 250,000 US dollar, fluctuates. Okay, and it is multi-sectoral. So not only in oil and gas, pharmaceutical, agriculture. So in reverse linkage, we are cross-sectorial. During the period of time of the CEF, the Country Engagement Framework exercise next week, you will hear a lot of cross-sectorial activities that can be done by the reverse linkage. Terms and conditions apply, of course. So it can be done potentially in phases. We can do a phase 1, phase 2, where we put in the catalytic financing. So that is the standalone tier 1. The tier 2 is actually an existing project that we have. Infrastructure, hydropower dam in Pakistan. They need a capacity perhaps that is available from Brunei. And so we engage with the Bruneian stakeholder to share that knowledge and expertise. That is part of a multi-million-dollar loan-based sovereign guaranteed project. So the value of the capacity development, where the reverse linkage is, basically, is going to be of value between 100 to $500,000 US. Now, all these two tiers, the money is given to the provider to provide the service to the recipient. So this is tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 3 is actually a product that we customize to the context with a partner, be it public sector, private sector, or third sector, that, we create a program in itself with them, a programmatic approach where they also provide knowledge and expertise and also financing. So that is the engagement that we do. Now, the sky is the limit in terms of the amount. For example, now we are currently developing a halal program with Malaysian companies, private sector, not the public sector. Nothing to do with JAKIM, nothing to do with any of the government agencies. It comprises of purely private sector. We have financial investors, we have digital partners, we have logistic partners, and so on and so forth in the area of halal. A programmatic approach that can be of value to about a few $100 million US. We are looking at how we are crafting it. So it is customized to the context of that particular country or partners in order to cater for them to share knowledge and expertise overseas in the area of halal, of course, in this area, in this aspect. Next, please. This is a showcase of a map. It's not an updated map to show that some countries are providers, some countries are recipient. Green means provider and recipient. Currently, they are more green than blue or what's the other color? Yellow. Okay? Where they share, not only share knowledge, but they also receive. So they are providers and recipients. So you can see in the sector key, the multi-sectorial aspect of reverse linkage. Whatever Brunei requires as a priority sector, we try to help. As long as we have viable and reliable partners as provider of knowledge and expertise to share the knowledge to you. Next, please. These are some examples of the reverse linkage projects that we have developed thus far. Not exhausting, is not limited to this, but we have digital, we have maternal health, we have oil and gas, solar, halal, a commodity like cotton, and so forth. whatever is required by our member country, we have in reverse linkage the flexibility to customize a collaboration to suit their needs, as long as we have a provider that is viable. Next, please. Now, this is just an example. This is the first project that we had since 2012. Okay, so we have a very loyal ministry partner in Indonesia. Ministry of Agriculture has always been our loyal partner. And so because they were the first to come in. Now, in this collaboration, the bulk of the financing is not from the bank. In reverse linkage, we are proud of the fact that the bulk of the financing is from our stakeholders. There is a saying in reverse linkage, we put in the least amount of financing, but maximum facilitation. Our asset has never been our pricing, our budget, because you see that it is between 250,000, sikit je, in terms of grant. Tetapi, the contribution is based on our introduction, our network, our contact. That is invaluable, particularly for the private sector. Because particularly when they go in greenfield markets, these are really highly valuable. Now, in this collaboration, we put in only 250,000 US dollars. The Kyrgyz Republic puts in $1 million US dollars. The government of Indonesia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, puts in 68% of the remaining amount. So you can imagine the bulk of the financing was from Indonesia, knowledge and expertise is from Indonesia. So what is the tangible benefit for Indonesia to come in? The provider of knowledge and expertise in this case is defined as BLU, Badan Layanan Umum, is considered a GLC in the context of the Ministry of Agriculture. So they are able to sell their products, in this case, livestock semen straws. So we facilitated successfully a collaboration between the government-linked company and an entity, as well as private farmers in Kyrgyz Republic, creating revenue for this particular company or entity from Indonesia. And that is the tangible benefit for them to come in. So they were willing to put in the bulk of the financing. Why? Because they earn revenue at the end of the day. Next, please. We also do knowledge products. What are the examples? We have a mapping of resource centers. This is something that we may be able to do with Brunei in a smaller scale, focusing and showcasing. It's like a menu for the 56 other member countries. Apa yang value add proposition yang Brunei can offer from the public sector and the private sector, whatever sectors that you have that is on offer. And then it is like a menu that we share with our member countries. So that is the mapping that we undertake with several partners. In this region, I facilitated the mapping of Indonesia, where the majority are public sector agencies and entities. The mapping of Malaysia, 78% is private sector. And the international publication, because we are regarded as a unique modality for South-South triangular cooperation, international organization likes to work with us, collaborate with us. For example, the South Center, UN Office for South-South Cooperation, dan sebagainya. So we develop intellectual contribution to develop and advance the fundamentals of South-South triangular cooperation. So we are proud to say that an Islamic institution is taking the lead in the global South through South-South triangular, through the Islamic Development Bank. So this is something that our member countries should be proud of because we are your bank. Next, please. This is an example of our stakeholders from the Global South. What do you mean by the Global South? The Global South, as I explained, are the developing countries, kan? But they are also the G77. That includes, at the top, Singapore Cooperation Enterprise. Singapore is a G77. They are not developed country. Pandai diorang position as not a developed country. They masih classify themselves as G77 to benefit from all these opportunities. And so at the top, we are facilitating for a shipping company to go into Turkmenistan to develop the capacity of the Turkmen port. in Turkmenbashi. So we facilitated that as a reverse linkage project involving Singapore because Keppel was interested, Sembawang was interested. So they are there. Now that's an example of reverse linkage with the halal partners. Now we see that one of our role is also to mobilize resources from our partners. And we have been, alhamdulillah, very successful with the private sector. For example, Aerodyne is the #1 global company in the world that is working in drone technology and so forth. They are from Malaysia. And they are committing $50 million to undertake reverse linkage projects that involve them in the area of drone technology to penetrate our 56 other member country markets. We work with provinces because the provinces in Indonesia, one province can be bigger than 2 or 3 countries combined. This is second largest, Jawa Timur. This is Ibu Kofifa, the governor. We are focusing on halal because she wants to develop the abattoirs in their country to make sure that they are halal certified and internationally recognized so that they can export. So this is an example. She visited our HQ and we facilitated the discussion. And this is with PT Biopharma. We also work with chambers of commerce because we, by definition in development, sustainability is not driven by us. The sustainability aspect is driven by the private sector. So we work with the chambers of commerce. Here is Sumatra Barat. Here is a workshop that I developed with the private sector with Matrade. I work with Matrade in Malaysia. And here, a company from Malaysia that does roads, developing something in Uganda. So we develop access to the private sector from Brunei or JLCs from Brunei to come and penetrate our member countries. Next, please. Jangan takut, lagi 2 aja. This is an example of what we do. We create positioning and branding of our partners. Okay? They showcase, they have actual concrete case study. So we don't market reverse linkage. Our partners, particularly from the private sector, will be marketing the reverse linkage. So third party more effective. So we did it last week in Bali. The next one will be in UN General Assembly, where we have a similar side event where 4 or 5 of my private sector partners will come and showcase the concrete case studies of reverse linkage. Next, please. This is the last slide. This is the value addition for the private sector. Bottom line. Selalunya, when I engage the private sector, this is the only slide I show them. Because the chairman of companies, the CEOs of companies don't have time to know all the rest. This is the value proposition. Market access to the 57 countries. New revenue streams, opportunities. Multi-sectorial, anything that you have on offer, we can try to see how we can facilitate. But what is most important is the reduction of business development costs. As I say, we put in the least amount of financing. What is our value proposition? Maximum facilitation, open the door for you. It saves you business development costs. And also it saves you in terms of mitigating business risk. And of course, we are very good at branding and positioning. In the morning, you saw the video. That video was done by a reverse linkage partner. The filmmaker, the video maker, is from the reverse linkage. And some of the pictures were from the reverse linkage projects. And last but not least, we are very much open to innovative blue ocean strategy ataupun greenfield. So with that, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Yang Mulia Aminuddin Mat Arif, CCD. Our final presenter, delivering the Strategic Partnership and Country Engagement Framework for Brunei Darussalam, please welcome Yang Mulia Ali Falahi.
Selamat siang, saya pikir masih siang ya. Okay, as a last presenter, I want to be quick, so don't worry. Next slide, please. I am, of course, representing for the Country Strategy and Engagement Division. So as you can see, this is one of the, of course, one of the inseparable slides, many presentations, very important. Just to, so as you can see, ISDBG realigned strategy, the duration 2023-2025. It was formulated
after the COVID. So as you can see, the strategic objectives are three: boosting recovery because of the COVID outbreak of COVID. So it's just frightened many countries, and this is one of the urgent requests and needs that it came to the board of governors, and of course, you know, all the ministers of finance, they are one of the members of board of governors. So the second one is tackling poverty. One of the objectives, the constant objectives of ISDB is tackling poverty, reducing poverty, and of course resilience, very important. Even for the Wawasan, Brunei, building resilience important because the country is heavily reliant upon the energy, and so do you want to drive away, and of course economic diversification. And the third one is driving green, which is a long-term objective. However, these three objectives translated into two pillars. The first pillar is a green, resilient, and sustainable infrastructure. In turn, the first pillar also includes the clean renewable energy, meaning that IDB is just focusing on the clean energy, and sustainable multimodal transport, and rural development, ICT, social infrastructure like health and education, and urban development and water sanitation. And the second pillar is inclusive human capital development, such as the healthcare, resilient quality, food security, which is important for Brunei. Most of the meetings that we have had last time, when the Excellency ISDB President came, and we had a meeting with His Excellency the Minister of Finance, some other ministries, all of them, they put the finger to the food security for the country, which shows the importance of this sector for the country. And we are pleased to inform you that after this major event, we are bringing a big delegation to the country, and inshallah we are going to start the CEF because this is a strategy, and the fruit of this strategy is the tangible projects which the country needs, and every member country needs. We are not coming for theory, we're coming for the tangible projects. And also the cross-cutting areas, of course, these cross-cutting areas, which is Islamic finance, climate change, women and youth, and capacity development, you can see the footprints in every sectors. So if you, for example, you have a clean energy or maybe the other sectors, you can find even the footprints of these cross-cutting areas. Next slide, please. Yes, and this is the guiding principle of realigned strategy. So results, we are result-based. We need to be respond to the countries, of course, especially when we have a regional hub. That is why we established to be more effective, empowerment, accountability, and group synergy, because we believe that one cannot do alone, so we need the whole group, which is all colleagues that represented ITFC, ICD, ISFD, and other ISDBI. And maybe I forgot one more. Next slide, please. Yeah, oh yes, here we just want to give you a difference between MCPS, what is MCPS, and what is CEF. So as you can see, MCPS, Member Country Partnership Strategy, this is a midterm engagement up to 5 years. However, sometimes even for CEF, we put it for 5 years. Here it's 3 years, but sometimes exceptionally, we can accept for the 5 years if it is requested by the country. For the MCPS, it's a deeper and long-term constraint for a structural transformation. And of course, even CEF, we have a structural transformation. For Brunei, for example, we have a department, they had done the country diagnostic study, and also we are coming to listen to the government about what are development challenges. We want to identify the development challenges, and based on, for example, when you go to the doctor, medical doctor, and he asks you he wants to know about the symptoms, and so he wants to give remedy, provide remedy. So here, of course, we looked at the review, the Wawasan, we actually read the NDP 11, RKN 11, however, the duration valid maybe until 2000 this year. And the other difference is that MCPS inform and builds on the pipeline. However, even this one, but I think that for MCPS is a more comprehensive and long-term, but the CF is more succinct. and version of the MCPS. For Brunei, we are going to have a CF, Country Engagement Framework. It's for 5 years, and you may have heard in the bulletins, Bruneo, if I'm not mistaken. So it's for it's based on 2 pillars: Islamic finance, promoting Islamic finance, and also supporting the SME ecosystem. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the MCPS and CF principles. Just to want to show about the principles. So as you can see, that it's by alignment is very important. For example, the ISDB strategy I showed the first slide. What is the strategy of the country? The strategy of country is Wawasan 2035. The strategy of country is reflected in the NDP or RKN 11. However, we are waiting for the new version, RKN 12, NDP 12. So we look at your priorities and the alignment between these two strategies. Where can they cover it? And then we can, based on that, we can define the tangible projects for the country. And yeah, I think that focus and selectivity very important. We want to be deep, to be not, let's say, wide sectors and the shallow. No, we want to be more focused but deep inside. And next slide, please. Next slide. This is about MOU that we recently signed. His Excellency President of ISDB visited Brunei, and they signed with the His Excellency Minister of Finance. So these are the objectives of MOU: to deepen the engagement, provide a framework. Without framework, how can you go? You need a roadmap. And also you need a platform and the priorities that I mentioned. So this week, we are going to have a close consultation with the government, MORA, Minister of Finance and Economy, even Central Bank, some other Minister of Primary Resources. We want to hear more from them and then to get together and define the projects. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is based on the Wawasan 2035. Again, shows us this is the roadmap, that's how can we go. And for example, for Wawasan 2035, you know better than me that the third objective, there are 3 objectives for Wawasan. The third one that I want to more focus on it is about the, let's say, a dynamic and sustainable economy. And the national outcome is economic diversification, is about the job creation. So that is why we are here. We want to design our projects to help the country in this way. And so diversification sector is very important, and export diversification too. Next slide, please. Okay, these are the pillars that you may have heard many times from us about the first pillar, second pillar. But however, for the first pillar, we need to, for example, go MORA, and our colleagues, they are here or they are coming, and they want to hear more from them. What is exactly need of Minister of Religious Affairs? If it is waqf, it is takaful, halal. And also for the SMEs, also we requested the government before, and we asked for some meetings that we want to discuss more. Next slide, please. Thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak.
Thank you very much to all of our presenters. We are now opening the floor for a question and answer session.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Thank you for the very interesting presentations this morning. I just want to request, for example, if you can share about what are the successful stories when you are reaching to those who are in needs, wherever they are. Example, like to overcome the poverty. So, what sort of like interesting stories that you can share with us here, and also what are actually if there is any lesson learned from there. That is my first question. I have another one. Thank you.
Actually, if I may, you mean I am based in regional hub Indonesia.
luckily or unluckily, we are covering two non-borrowing countries which are rich. So we don't have poverty in those two countries, which is Brunei and Malaysia. For Indonesia, of course, we have had some success stories. Sometimes we injected the Islamic, for example, waqf or zakat to the traditional projects and for the rural communities. We have had success stories, but if you want to share with you, of course we can do it. We can send by email or, but however, at this time, I myself, I have not prepared for the success story, but there are, of course there are.
Maybe the question was for me, I suppose. Tak ada lah. Just joking lah, bro. So the thing is that an example of poverty elevation, an actual project that we did is the sharing of knowledge of expertise from India to Uganda of a simple technology that converts byproducts of farming to become soap, to become smokeless charcoal. Because in Uganda, they tend to deforest and then use the thing to cooking and all that sort of stuff. Now, by doing so, we increase the earnings of the farmers because they don't throw anything away. They develop soap through a cooperative and they develop also smokeless charcoal. And so much so, alhamdulillah, it was so effective that some of the farmers become entrepreneurs. They work together, get some investment internally within the country and export it to Europe. A product, smokeless charcoal, that costs $1 or less to make it there, they just need to invest in terms of packaging it, and they can send it to the Netherlands for maybe 20 euros. So you can imagine the markup that they get and all that sort of stuff. So now we have, alhamdulillah, in Uganda, very, very rich farmers. Now, what does that entail? That means it translates into opportunities for education, better education, but better earning, which means that they can be able to spend. That actually revitalize the community, economic, local community and whatnot, but also increase the level of education, alhamdulillah. So this is an example, an actual example that is a success story from our side, the reverse linkage side, when it comes to the facilitation of such technology. Hence, I reiterate, we don't share high-tech that creates white elephants. What we share are simple, practical, commercially viable technology that can be used by the stakeholders on the ground, customized. Just to share, thank you.
Just to add in terms of your comments just now, Jamiruddin, how do you make the selections of this? Is it from the national, example, you mentioned about Uganda just now. Are you actually like asking the data or who are the target people or target communities that you want to help?
So we have a process. Now, Ali has indicated, Tuan Ali has indicated a modus operandi. They identify opportunities at their level in Indonesia, in Brunei, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then they will scale it up to the HQ and divert it to the necessary departments. If it is in a reverse linkage or reverse linkage can be of help, they will present it to us. Now, this type of request will be from the government, because we serve the government of the respective countries. So if there is a need from the ground up, so they need to have the buy-in of MOFI, because they are our partners, our counterpart. If it is, at least for reverse linkage, in Malaysia, we are quite a bit special in terms of our partner is not necessarily the Ministry of Finance or Bank Negara. Our partner is Matrade. Why? Because we are more private sector centric with Malaysia. So depending on the partner, we will get proposals from them, and then we'll be very frank with them. If we can provide them assistance or the possibility of assisting, we will say so. If we can't, upfront we will tell them, because we do not want to waste their time. So we are trying to make sure that the expectations are realistic, both sides.
Thank you. I have one more question, a simple question. Do you have an academy or some sort of like institution that probably help us in terms of like example like education on Sharia product, Sharia compliance, and Sharia listing or whatever it is.
The absent party here is the ISDBI.
I will see him later.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah. The handsome fella just now, yeah. The young man. He's the one. Yeah, not this old man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Dalam segi Islamic finance, Sharia, and all that, Tuan Faik.
I hope that I can grab him later. Thank you so much.
Sure, he'll be just outside, je pun.
Sure, thank you. Thank you.
Are there any more questions to be asked the presenters?
And you better ask because after this we are going back to Saudi Arabia lah, macam-macam. So there's no way to ask us. Lagi-lagi student. I was a teacher before. That's why I can was able to ask. Capek? Kita yang capek. Tak ada. Sila, sila. Jangan malu-malu, tanya. Benda-benda macam gini mesti buka tembok.
All right, if there are no more questions, please give another round of applause to our presenters, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of our event today. We sincerely appreciate your presence at the event, which greatly contributed to its liveliness and engagement. Thank you very much for being a part of it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude and thanks to the Islamic Development Bank Group, ISDB, for their participation and contribution towards an insightful presentations and workshops. We would also like to extend our appreciation to our organizing committee, volunteers whose hard work and support have been instrumental in making this event possible. Your dedication and hard work are truly appreciated. Once again, my name is Hadi Sudirman. Thank you for your participation and contributions. We wish you safe travels and may we cross paths again in the future, inshallah. Have a wonderful day and take care. Sorry? Thank you. Thank you very much as well. Sekian wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.